1. All right, 36. Let's get that one down. Now, notice it says solve the triangle. Since it says solve the triangle, that means I need to know every single dimension. Okay? Every single dimension. Now, I don't know if it's a right triangle or not. We need to figure that out. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a triangle. Doesn't have to necessarily be right or wrong. But I don't know if it's a 90 degree or not. But all I do know is that my coffee is all over the floor. Okay? And I do know that if A is right here, little a has to be right there. And then if B is right there, they're over there. Paper towels are over there. Then C is right there. Hunter, do you mind? Thank you. You rock. And then little b would be right there. Okay? So I'm just going to fill in the things, and then I'm either going to be using the law of sines or the law of cosines. Okay? So it says angle C, which is this guy right here, is 31 degrees. So I'm going to put in a 31 right here. Okay? And then it says angle A, that's 20 degrees. So this is 20 degrees. So right now we could determine if this is going to be 90. Do you guys think this is going to be 90? I don't think so. I think this is going to be bigger than 90. So right now we can figure out what angle B is. How do we figure out what angle B is? Well, we have to take 180 and subtract 31. Someone grab a calculator. And then subtract 20 from that.
From what?
From 180. One 129? That sounds about right. 129. Okay, so angle B is 129. Okay? And then we also know that side A is 210. So this side right here is 210. All right, so I think the biggest difficult part about this with you guys is knowing which formula to use. Do we use the law of sines or the law of cosines? Now remember, the law of cosines is more difficult, okay? So you always want to see if you can use the law of sines. Now how do we know if law of sines is where it's at? Good. The angle and its corresponding side. So right now that means that we could use the law of cosines. Sines, excuse me. So watch this. Looking at my formula sheet, which is right here. The law of sines is right here. So the angle is on the bottom, and then the side is up top. And that's all I'm going to do. Okay? So 210 is up top. Sine of this angle, which is 20, is right here. And I set that equivalent to, well, since we have angle C, and then we don't know what C is. Little c is just going to be like this. So all we do from here is just cross multiply. So 210 times sine 31, and then C is right here, and times sine 20 degrees. All right, so I need a calculator ready. Hold on, let me grab that desktop, and then go to calculator, and then double click on this guy. Okay. So clear this. All right, so in order to get the C by itself, I have to divide both sides by sine 20 degrees. Okay. So this is gone, and I need to know what sine C is. So I'm just going to punch that into the calculator. So up top, in my fraction, I'm going to put it in parentheses. I have 210 times sine of 31 degrees. That's up top, divided by sine of 20 degrees. Now I wonder if my calculator is in radians or degrees. Let's see. Okay, so it says negative 92. So I'm thinking it's probably in the wrong. Yeah, see how it's in radians? Because there's no way that I can have a negative side. Okay, so I have to flip that over and put it into degrees, and then press clear. And now if I push enter again, it should give me a better angle. Okay, so 316.2. So little c is 316.2. Now let's see if that makes sense. This angle right here is 20 degrees, and it's 210. And over here, this one's 31, and it's 316. This angle is bigger, so that means this side has to be bigger than the 20. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? All right, so we got that. C is done. Now the last thing we need to do is figure out what B is. We already know what angle B is. Angle B is 129. So I'm going to use law of sines again, and I'm going to stick with what was already given. Okay? So I've got the 210, and then sine of 20 is equivalent to the little b, and then sine of what we got for b, which was 129. So sine of 129. Okay, so same type of story. I'm going to cross multiply, and let's see what we get. So 210 times sine 129, and then b times sine of 20, and then divide both sides by sine of 20. That's a S. And then that's what our B angle is going to be. So let's get my calculator out. It's still in degree mode, so we're all set. So I'm going to go parenthesis 210 times sine 129. Okay, close the parenthesis. Notice that's in my numerator. Then I'm dividing by sine of 20. Okay. Press enter, and then that's what my side is. Now, since that's a huge side, that makes sense. Okay, so side B is going to be 477.2. So that's the whole triangle solved. We found everything.